I'm a runner. I've been running since I was 10. I've always been fast. Almost 4 years ago, at 45, I decided to medically transition from male to female. It's been hard.
Fundamentally unfair for men to compete in women's sports.
The new target is transgender kids. War on women.
These bills do uphold white supremacy under the guise.
This bill protects our students.
Running probably saved my life. It's been my sanctuary.
You know, girls are going to play girl sports and boys are going to play boys sports.
This is legislative bullying, plain and simple.
You can't just decide you're a woman and compete with women.
With this movement, then you are not on the right side of history.
Since I started running as a woman, something surprised me. After hormone therapy, I thought I would slow down, but I've actually gotten faster compared to women my age. I now break women's records regularly in my workouts. Fairness is a difficult thing to come about in sports. Some people just have biological advantages. I didn't want to be rejected by my family, so the idea of transition was really not an option in 2016 when I attempted suicide. And I didn't want to be an embarrassment to my family, my friends. I didn't want to have to have them explain to people, oh yeah, Andie's this man who's becoming a woman. I didn't want to have them go through that, and I was very concerned for them that I thought taking my life was a better choice. And my doctor, who was just my doctor in the emergency room, said, you know, your parents would rather have a live trans daughter than a dead son, and that stuck. Odds are, if you're watching this, you have your mind made up if I belong in women's sports, but I want to form my views based on science. The first and most widely cited study on elite trans athletes says if I use hormone therapy for 1 year, I can compete as a woman. There's a catch though. This prevailing study is based on just 8 people. That's all the transgender female runners the researcher could track down at the time. There aren't many of us out there.
Transgender athlete bans introduced in 31 states.
Transgenders participating in women's sports will destroy women's sports.
Bills are being introduced and advanced at the state level about transgender youth, too.
A bill targeting youth athletes has been proposed right here in Minnesota.
The proposed legislation will actually make it a misdemeanor for a transgender athlete to participate in women's sports.
But bans ostracize trans kids further. The number of trans athletes like me is minuscule, and overall we're far from dominating anything athletic. The current political campaign in America against trans athletes like me isn't about sports at all. It's about discrimination and fear. It has nothing to do with science. I was a wound-up child, and my dad took me out running to relieve stress. I said I had the best time in the world. That was the most exciting thing I've ever done. And he always said, I guess I shouldn't have taken you to Disney World then. Running makes me feel alive. I love it. I absolutely love it. Before I felt ready to compete as a woman in competitive races, I needed to be certain that my years as a biological male didn't give me an unfair advantage. We don't have unequivocal science yet, so I started logging my own times. I've kept careful records of my times and rankings since 2012. Despite more than 3 years of hormone therapy, I'm now relatively faster as a woman than I was as a man. I'm following all of the rules, and I don't know what to do. It could be for any number of reasons. Since I've transitioned, I'm happier and I've been able to train better. Or it could be because my body helps me retain some athletic advantage over biological women. It makes me uncomfortable. I'm mostly figuring this out on my own. So for now, my compromise is I compete as a female, but only in races where I know I won't make the medal podium or win money. As a competitor, I want to win, but I only want to win if I know it's fair. I exist in this chasm between those who believe I am a cheater who is hurting women and those who insist that merely identifying as a woman is a right to compete as a woman. I want to urge both sides to please stop using this issue for your own politics and podcasts. Of course I long for inclusion. Of course I want to compete fully as a woman. I don't know where the line between fair and unfair advantage falls, but I do know I want to make these decisions based on science and not beliefs, which includes accepting the possibility that I might still retain an advantage. Put your politics aside and let science speak.